Hello, welcome to another review of Drones Visual. As many of you know, Eachine mainly manufactures FPV racers. You probably know FPV racers such as the Racer 250, the Falcon 250, the Wizard X220 that are pretty well known in the RC community. But perhaps some of you don't know that Eachine not only makes FPV racers, but they also make other remote control vehicles FPV equipped. For example, we got the Eachine FPV boat. I'm not sure whether that was very popular though. You might have also seen the micro FPV Sky Hunter, the RC airplane. And now one of the latest products is this RC car that you can see over here, the RatingKing F14. Now I usually don't review RC cars in this channel, but I'm gonna try the RatingKing F14 because it comes FPV ready. So I think it's gonna be an interesting experience. I've never tried an FPV car before, so I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna do this sort of an unboxing and light review video, and in the second part of this review I'm gonna take it outside for the drive and see how it works, see how is the FPV quality and so on. Okay, as soon as we open the box, we of course get the instructions manual. It's very simple, but definitely advise you to read it before doing anything. It only comes in English though. Then we get these two boxes. One contains the transmitter itself and the other contains some other components that I'll be showing you one by one. We get these stickers that you could use to decorate your vehicle and also to decorate the transmitter itself. So that's kind of cool. Then here you can see a little tiny LiPo battery with a USB charger. This battery is gonna be used to power a tiny camera that comes included with at least with some versions of this car, maybe all, I might be wrong. This is a tiny camera that you can see over here, and you can see that it has two wires that you can connect to the battery to power it on. I will show you that a little bit later in the video. This sticky pad that you can see here, or Velcro, well, you can use this to secure the camera, I guess, or to secure other components that you might use. I'll show you later how to use it. Then this USB charger, I'm not sure if you can use this one to charge the 2S battery that comes with the car itself. I'm gonna use my own balance charger in any case, but this comes included, and I guess in theory you could charge that battery. Then we get this flagpole. This is actually a protector for the FPV antenna, and I will show you that later. But you could also use it as decoration because you get like this tiny flag that you can see over here, and basically you could glue it there and it looks like a little flag on a racing car. So that's kind of cool. It's up to you obviously whether you use this flag or not, but I'm gonna do it. Then we get a standard transmitter. This is a regular transmitter. Probably many of you are familiar with this. But anyways, it comes included with the car. And here we can see the Eachine. Notice that the plastic seems scratched. Well, don't be scared, the plastic is actually not scratched. It's like a protective layer that I will show you later that protects the canopy of the car itself, so don't worry about that. As you can see, the FPV camera already comes in the car, but the other camera you have to put it by yourself. I would rather probably gonna put it on the roof of the car. If we take a look at the transmitter itself, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this kind of transmitters, but in case you don't know, you use this wheel over here to turn left and right. That's pretty easy. I think even if you have never tried, you're not gonna find it hard. Then you got this sort of trigger, and this is the throttle. You could also use it to go as your reverse, so pretty easy. Then here on the side you might see these two knobs over here. You could use this to trim the direction in case you feel that the vehicle is deviating either to the right or to the left, and this is the power button to power on your transmitter. If we move to the left corner of the transmitter, you'll see a sort of an orifice there. That's just an LED light that will let you know when the transmitter is powered. If we move then to the upper section, you might notice these buttons here, one on the left, one on the right, that will reverse your channels. So if there's any issue, I mean, out of the box it comes okay, but in case you have any issue, you could reverse the channels there using those. Then we have this knob here on the center that I guess it will regulate how sensitive is or how responsive the direction of the vehicle is once we turn left or right. I'll try that a little bit later in the second video to show you with more details. And the good news is that the transmitter comes equipped with 4 batteries, and these are rechargeable batteries, so you don't need to buy AA batteries or anything like that. You just need a charger to charge them. As I was telling you, initially when you take the car out of the box, it looks like the plastic is scratched or something like that. It's not really scratched, it just has like a protective layer that you actually could keep on if you want to protect the plastic, you know, further, but I'm just gonna remove it so you can see that the plastic is new and shiny right under this plastic layer. If we move now to the front section of the car, you could see that the design is pretty nice. It's sort of like a buggy style RC car, and I like this kind of design. You know, it's good for indoors and outdoors. The tires are sort of, the rubber in the tires is a little bit soft, which I think could give it a good grip indoors, but I'm not sure how good these tires are gonna be in sand. I think not very good probably. Maybe this is not the best way to measure the tire, but you can see that approximately the diameter should be around 72 millimeters. Then here on the rear section, you could see this black box. It contains the FPV transmitter, a 25 milliwatt FPV transmitter, and you can also see an LED light with a selector here on the side to switch the colors of the light. And initially I saw all these little screws and I'm like, oh, no way that I need to remove all of them to actually to remove the canopy, but you don't need to do that, so don't touch those screws at all. To remove the canopy is really easy, just like with most other RC cars. You have some clips here or pins you have 2 on the front and 2 on the back. You just need to remove them and it just takes 1 second. You just pull them out and basically that's it. Here I'm taking the ones in the front, and then let's go ahead and remove these ones here on the rear section. Okay, they're gone, and that's pretty much it. Once you do that, you can go ahead and remove the whole canopy and the plastic frame that holds the canopy. As you can see, it's really easy, actually really nice. So now you have access to all the internal components of the car itself. Now, I was taking a look at all the components inside and they look pretty well organized. It's kind of like a tidy, clean interior. So there's not many cables. Well, I mean, it's an RC car, but still, everything looks pretty clean. So I like that. Then if we take a look here at the suspension, you can see that it's mostly plastic, of course, but obviously that also helps to make the car cheaper. There's not a lot of metal here, and of course plastic is a little bit more, let's say, brittle, but I mean, I'm not sure if you expected something else. Then we got the servo over here that will basically control whether the tires or the direction moves to the right or to the left. And you can see the arm of the servo here connecting to the front section of the direction. You can see here on the left, sorry, the transmitter. It has 2 channels connected here. One goes to the ESC, and then that is connected to the motor. This is a 45 amp PSC, if I recall correctly, and the other one to the servo, of course, to change direction. Now you can see the motor here. This is a 550 size motor, if I remember correctly. And something that I don't like at those are these transistors here. Yeah, I mean they look kind of exposed there. I'm not sure if that's a normal thing in motors. I don't think so, but it doesn't look so nice. And then we got the ESC, as I was saying. I think this is a 45 amp PSC, and it has this sort of thing to avoid overheating on the top section. Then here you might be able to see it. It's a little bit dark though in that area. There's a power button to switch on, to power on or off the vehicle. And then this GSC connector that you can see over here is basically to power the FPV system that comes with the car, the 25 milliwatt FPV transmitter and the 1000 TVL FPV camera that you may have seen before. Now here's the connector for the battery. The battery comes already inserted, so you don't need to do anything. I think you should charge it, of course. It probably doesn't come charged, so you need to take it out and charge it before connecting it. Here's the camera that I was talking about, 1000 TVL with a CMOS sensor and a view angle of 110 degrees. Then you got these 3 wires over here. Basically you have the video signal being sent to the FPV transmitter, and then you have, of course, the power wire with the ground wire coming from the transmitter. This is the GST connector that will basically power the FPV transmitter, and it connects to the other GST connector that comes from the ESC that I showed you before. Once you open the FPV transmitter, you will see here, maybe on the left, it has a tiny microphone actually. That's kind of nice in case you like to enjoy the sound of a moving car, RC car. And then you have the antenna here soldered. This must be like for the video frequency. And if we move here to the lateral section, you'll see the power wires powering the transmitter, ground and positive wires here on the top connector. Then if we move here to the center or to the lower connector, this is the connector that is basically connected to the camera. It's powering the camera and is getting the video signal from the FPV camera on the front of the vehicle. And then here the lower connector is powering here a side unit that you can see over here with the selector and the LED light, which actually you can change the colors of the LED light. I think it offers like what, I'm not sure how many combinations now, but you can definitely, you almost have the whole rainbow there. And this is the tiny camera that comes with the car. I think it can do full HD, maybe only 720p. I need to check that out. But I think it's a full HD camera, but probably the quality is not going to be very good, as you can imagine, but it's nice that it comes included. Here in the rear section you have a slot for the micro SD card, and you can see the red and black wires to power the camera. This is a tiny connector here that you will basically need to connect to the little battery. Remember that I showed you the battery at the beginning of the video? Well, basically it goes connected here. This is the battery that comes with the car itself that will power the whole system itself. It is a 1500 milliamp, 7.4 volts, 30 C discharge rate. And let me show you here how wide it is, because it's important to know this, as you may not be able to fit a battery that is wider than this. So yeah, keep this in mind. 30, yeah, around 30, yeah, 34.5 millimeters. So keep this in mind. This is the tiny battery that will power the camera to record video that I showed you before, that goes on the roof of the car. And just before going out or or using it, I suggest you charge it, because it's probably, the battery is probably not fully charged. So it's a good idea to do that. And here is the 1000 TVL camera, and next to it I'm gonna place the tiny little battery to power the camera. I mean, you could place it in any other place, but I think this is a good idea to have it here. And what I'm planning to use to keep it there is this tiny Velcro. It's a sticky pad that has Velcro on one side, and this will allow me to put the battery, place it there, and then take it off when I need to charge the battery later. So I'm gonna place the other side of the Velcro sticky pad here next to the camera, and then I'm gonna take the battery and place it there. I don't think vibration and stuff will do anything, but if you feel that it's falling off, then I guess you could use some plastic straps or something like that to keep it in place. But I'm gonna try like this first and check whether it's gonna work. Then the other camera, I'm gonna place it here on the top. I think this is the best place, and that's the way it comes in the diagram that I saw on the box. So I'm gonna proceed to place it here with a sticky pad. Then again, you can secure it with maybe with a strap if you want. I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm not gonna be sorry if I lose this camera. But of course, you need to get your own SD card, because there's no SD card included with the camera. So I'm gonna use my own 8 GB micro SD card. And then basically, yeah, you can power the camera just to check whether it works. Once you power the camera, you might see here on the rear, I don't know if you can see it there, there's a red light that indicates that the camera has been powered on. Yeah, and on the side you have a tiny little button that is a little bit hard to press unless you have some nails, which I don't. Once you press it, you can start recording, and then to stop the recording, you just press it once again. Well, and if you're asking yourself, how do you know whether the camera is recording or not? Well, you can see it here. Once you press it, the red light or the red LED will start blinking. This is letting us know that the camera is recording. And to stop the recording process, you basically need to press the button once. It's a little bit hard to press, though. And once you press it, you will see that the LED will stop blinking. And then we know that the recording process has been stopped. Regarding the antenna, well, I mean, I think it's good to have the antenna like this. I'm gonna maybe try to use something to keep it like this. I guess you get a better reception, but I don't know whether, you know, that matters at all. Maybe you're not gonna drive so far, because I guess the FPV signal is not gonna be very good. Now let's go ahead and place this the antenna protector on the FPV antenna here on the coming out of the black box. It's very easy, just slide or insert the antenna into this sort of tube or flagpole and insert it into the aperture in the black box. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we can go ahead and connect the FPV system, and we can then place the canopy. So now we're ready to go out. Well, we need to charge the battery first, but we're pretty much ready to go out and drive this RC car FPV style, and at the same time record our session with the camera on top. Although I think later I might end up using my own camera, like a Firefly or something like that, just to get a better quality video. But of course I will also show you some footage from the little camera on top, as probably many of you wanna check it out. So okay, I'm placing the canopy here, and which is the last step. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. I'm just gonna stop here because in the second part I want to take it out and show you, you know, how it drives, the FPV range, and so on and so on and so on. So far the conclusions, well, I mean, it looks decent. I'm not sure if some of you might find it a little bit pricey, 140 bucks. Yeah, it could be a little bit pricey, but I think it's well built. I mean, it's a lot of plastic, but I think it's decent for beginners. I'm sure those of you that have been already in the RC car world for a while probably will find this like not very appealing. But I guess for me, that I don't have much experience with RC cars, it's really a decent choice. And I guess for most beginners, I mean, I'm not gonna be using it a lot, so just to use it sometimes, I guess it could be fun. I don't need really, I mean, obviously this has a brush motor, and I'm sure obviously it would be better to have a brushless motor and so on, but I think this is more like an entry-level RC car. Is not meant for people that have certain demands. So I think for beginners and for myself, it should be a great RC car. I'm gonna try it out though, see how it performs in different kind of terrains. I suspect that those tires are not gonna be good for sand and some other kind of outdoor driving, but probably they're gonna be nice for indoor driving. So okay, if you find this overview or review useful, just drop me some comments and give me a thumbs up. And just stay tuned for the second part of this review in my next video. I hope to see you all in my next video.